Hello and welcome to the introduction for this course. What are the course requirements? You need a computer and internet connection to follow along with this course. Who is this course for? This course is for anyone who wants to learn something new. What is the course format? The format of the course is video. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the installation requirements to install Oracle on a Windows computer. Here's a list of the system requirements. For operating system, you need to be on a Windows 10 computer, 64-bit processor, Windows Server 2012 Release 2, 64-bit processor, or Windows Server 2016, also Windows Server 2019. You can also use virtualization. Oracle certifies the following virtualization technologies with Oracle database on Windows. So you can use Oracle VM Server or Microsoft Hyper-V. For disk space, you need 8.5 gigabyte minimum for Oracle software plus 2 gigabytes or more for temporary storage. For RAM, you need at least 2 gigabytes of RAM at minimum. There are also permission requirements. You must be part of the administrator groups on Windows to be able to install Oracle Database XE. If you are logged in as a domain user, ensure that you are connected to the network before you install Oracle Database XE. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to download Oracle Database. The link to download Oracle Database is displayed on the screen. This is the download page to download Oracle Database XE. As of the time I'm recording this video, the current version is Oracle Database 21C Express Edition. So there are 3 links here for download. So you download the link relevant to your operating system. If you're using a Linux-based system, then download from the link that says Linux. I've got a Windows computer, so I'm going to click for the link that says Windows 64. So I click on it. The download has started. You can see the download on the bottom left-hand corner of my screen. It's a fairly large download. It's 1.8 gigabyte in size, so it may take a while to download. The downloaded file is going to be in a zipped format. So you can see here it's got .zip, which means the files are going to be compacted. So you will need to extract the files using a software extraction tool. The icon you can see here in the download is for WinRAR. WinRAR is a software extraction tool that you can install and then use that to unzip any software that contains a zip file. If you have not got any software extraction tool on your computer, you can do a search for WinRAR on Google and then just click on the download WinRAR link here. From the download page for WinRAR, you can just download the relevant link and then install it. And that will enable you to extract the content of the Oracle database file. The download has completed, so this is a completed download. Usually it will download it to your downloads folder. So this is my downloads folder, and you can see this is the downloaded file. It's a zipped file, so that means the content is compacted. So I'll need to extract it, and I'm going to extract it using WinRAR. This is the icon for WinRAR. I've already got WinRAR installed on my computer. I want to extract the downloaded file into a folder. So I'm going to create a folder in this directory. So I right click and select new folder. I'm going to call it Oracle Database. So I've created a new folder called Oracle Database, and I'm going to right click and copy the downloaded file into this new folder I created. I now have a copy of the downloaded file in this directory I created called Oracle Database. I'm going to go into the directory, and this is a copy of the file. So to extract the file, I'll right click on it and select extract here. So it will extract the content into the folder. So give it a few minutes to complete that. The content of the file has been extracted. So this is the extracted content in this directory that I created. In this video, I downloaded Oracle Database and also extracted the content of the downloaded file. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to install Oracle. In the previous video, I downloaded and extracted the Oracle database files into a folder I created called Oracle Database. I'm going to open the folder and run the setup.exe file. Double click on the setup.exe file. You may get the user account control dialog box pop up. Click on the yes button to continue. Click next, then accept the license agreement and click next again. Accept the default installation directory and click on the next button. Enter and confirm a database password that will be used for the SYS, the system, and PDBS admin accounts. Once you have entered and confirmed the password, click on the next button. Check the details on the summary screen are correct, then click on the install button. Please note that the installation process can take a while depending on your system's configuration and resources, so please be patient. You may get a Windows Defender firewall message pop up. Click Allow Access to continue. The installation is now completed. The final installation screen also displays the connection strings to connect to the database on your computer. You can click on the Finish button to exit the setup screen. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to connect to the Oracle database server using SQL Plus. SQL Plus is an Oracle database command line interface utility. It is commonly used by administrators and programmers to interact with the Oracle database. SQL Plus is installed when you install Oracle. To access the SQL Plus, go to your Start menu and then look for the Oracle folder. It's going to be called RDB21 Home 1. Click on the drop down and there should be an icon for SQL Plus. So click on SQL Plus. You are prompted to enter a username. Whoever installed the Oracle database will automatically have the system DBA privileges and does not need to connect to the Oracle database using a password. To connect to the database as a system DBA, just do a slash space and then type in as sysdba and press enter, and that should connect. You can see it says connected to Oracle database 21C Express Edition. The next thing I want to do is to get a list of pluggable databases. To get a list of pluggable databases in the system, the command you need to type is select space name from $PDBS and then you add a colon and then press enter, and that will display all the pluggable databases. XAPDB1 is a pluggable database. A pluggable database which is also known as PDB, is a portable collection of schemas, schema objects, and non-schema objects that appear to an Oracle client. To connect to the pluggable database, you type in connect space sys / the password that you specified during the installation of the Oracle database at localhost, if you have it installed on your local machine, colon, the port number / xcpbdb1 space as space sysdba colon, and press enter, and you should get a message saying connected. In this video, I connected to the Oracle database using SQL Plus. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to start and shut down the Oracle database server using the Windows services. Do a search for services on your Windows startup search bar and then click on the services app. When the services app launches, scroll down until you see the Oracle Service XE. Click on it to select it. At the moment, the status says it is running. If you want to stop it, just right click on it and then click stop. And if it's not running, the start option should be bold and you should be able to click on it to start it. So let me give you a quick demo. So I'm going to stop it. It's currently running. I'll right click and select stop, and it's trying to stop it. So we'll give it a few minutes to stop that. So it has stopped. If you see here, it doesn't say it's running anymore. So I want to start it again. I'll right click and click on start, and that should restart the database server. So that's it for this video. In this video, I showed you how to start and stop the Oracle database server. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. What is SQL Developer? SQL Developer is a free graphical user interface. It allows database users and administrators to perform a variety of database related tasks. It is also a productivity tool. Its main objective is to help the end user save time and also maximize the return on investment in the Oracle database technology stack. SQL Developer also supports earlier versions of Oracle database like version 10G, 11G, and 12C. SQL Developer will run on any operating system that supports Java. Let's take a look at some of the uses for SQL Developer. Developers can use SQL Developers to run queries, store procedures, test. They can also use it to document database programs and other related tasks. Database administrators can use SQL Developer to manage their databases and perform a variety of administrative tasks such as backup, security, and so on. Application architects and data modelers can use SQL Developers for data modeling, for scripting, reporting, and a variety of other tasks. Web developers and administrators can use SQL Developer to administer Oracle REST data services for creating and altering RESTful services. Oracle SQL Developer integrates with Oracle Apex, which allows you to browse applications and perform other Application Express activities. With Oracle SQL Developer, you can browse, you can export, you can import, you can drop, or deploy applications. SQL Developer is a very useful tool to have. It improves your productivity when you're working on Oracle databases. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to download Oracle SQL Developer. The link to download Oracle SQL Developer is displayed on the screen. This is the web page to download Oracle SQL Developer. Click on the Download SQL Developer button. You're then redirected to the download page. So depending on your operating system, select the relevant download link. I'm on a Windows computer. I'm going to download this link here, which includes the JDK. JDK basically stands for Java Development Kit. So I'm going to click on that link. You will get a pop-up. So make sure you check to accept the license and then click on the Download SQL Developer. You must have an account on Oracle before it will allow you to download. If you don't have an account, you'll be presented with the login and registration screen. So make sure you sign in before you can download. So I've already signed in, so I'm going to click on the download link. And you can see the download has started for me on the bottom left-hand corner of my screen. So I'll give it a few minutes to complete. The size is 439 megabytes. The download has completed. So this is my downloads directory. And this is the downloaded file. The file is a compact file. So it is zipped. So you need to extract the content. So I'm going to extract the content using WinRAR. So I'll right click and select extract here, and it will extract the content into my downloads folder. The content of the downloaded file has been extracted into this folder called SQL Developer. So I'm going to open the folder. So this is the content of the SQL Developer. To use the SQL Developer, all you need to do is click on the SQL Developer application file. It doesn't require installation. You just click on it. If you want to make things easy, you can create a shortcut to this on your desktop. So I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to send it to my desktop and create a shortcut. So this is the shortcut I created to the SQL Developer. So anytime I want to use it, I just click on the shortcut and that will launch the SQL Developer. So you can see it's trying to load the SQL Developer. If this is the first time you are running the SQL Developer, you may get this message about importing references from previous SQL Developer installation. I'm going to click no to that. This is what the Oracle SQL Developer interface looks like. So I'm going to exit. I'll click File and Exit. Anytime I want to launch it, I've already created a shortcut on my desktop. I'll just double click on it to launch the SQL Developer. In this video, I downloaded Oracle SQL Developer. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to connect SQL Developer to Oracle. To begin, I'm going to launch the SQL Developer. I've got a shortcut on my desktop, so I just double click to launch it. I'm going to create a new connection. So here on that connection, I click on the plus sign. In the new Select Database Connection dialog box, you need to give the connection a name. I'm going to call it System. I've given the connection a name of System, and the username should be System, all lowercase. The password should be the password that you specified during the installation of the Oracle database. So enter that password in here. I've entered my password. The connection details should be auto-populated. So for the host name, you should have localhost The port number should be 1521. The seed should be XE. Next, I need to enter the service name. So I'm going to click on the radio button for the service name. The service name would have been provided when the installation of the Oracle database was completed. The service name should be XEPDB1. So let's test the connection. So there is a test button here. So I'm going to click on it to test the connection. If everything is successful, we should get a message. So you can see here, we have status success. I'm going to click to connect. We have successfully connected to the database and we can see some database objects displayed. I'm going to run a quick query that will enable us to see the metadata tables. So I've typed in this query, select star from tab, and that will enable me to see the metadata tables. So I'm going to click to execute it. So the query has returned some results. So these are the metadata tables. In this video, I connected to the Oracle database using SQL Developer. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to download the Oracle sample schemas. Link to download the sample schemas is displayed on the screen. This is the web page to download the Oracle database 21C sample schemas. There are two files. They both do the same thing. So you can download the source code.zip file or the source code.tar file. I'm going to be downloading the source code.zip file. So I'll click on it. I've clicked on the source code.zip so you can see it being downloaded on the bottom left hand corner of my screen. I'm going to right click on the downloaded file and select extract here to extract the content. The content is going to be extracted into my downloads folder. The content has been downloaded into a folder called DB sample schema, and this is the content. The downloaded schema folder has to be placed in a specified directory where Oracle will look for it. This is the default location where Oracle will look for your schemas, provided you installed Oracle in the default location. I'm going to copy the downloaded schema directory into where Oracle looks for it. So I go to my computer, click on the app directory, my username, product 21C, and then look for DB home XE. Inside there should be a folder called demo. So I click on the demo folder. Inside demo, there should be a schema folder, and inside that schema folder is where I copy the downloaded schema directory. So that's it for this video. In this video, I downloaded the sample Oracle database schemas. Thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to unlock the sample HR schema account. I will be using the SQL developer to unlock the sample HR schema. So I'm going to open the SQL developer and then connect to it using my system account. So any connections you have will be listed on the Oracle connections. So this is a connection I have for system account. So I click on the plus sign to log in. So I just enter my password. I've entered my password, so I click OK. I have connected to the database using my system account. Next, I'm going to go to where the schemas are stored in the Oracle database. So this is the location. I'm going to open up the schema folder. So this is the schema folder. So I'm going to click to open it. We have different schemas in this DB sample schema folder, and the schema I want to unlock is the human resources schema. So I'm going to click to open it. There are different script files in this folder. There's 10 in total. I'm going to be using this script file, which is called HR_main. I'm going to execute this script file inside my SQL developer, and this will enable me to unlock the sample HR schema account. So I'm going to copy the path here into my SQL developer. So I right click, I'll copy, and I'll paste it into my SQL developer. So I click on paste. So this is the actual path to where the schema is stored. So I'm going to add the name of the script file. So I'll do a slash. So I've added the name of the script file, which is HR_main.sql. Before I can execute this script, I have to add the @ symbol at the beginning of the path. I've added the @ symbol at the beginning of the path. To execute this script, I click on the play button here. You'll be given an option to specify the password for the HR as parameter 1. So you need to enter the value for the parameter 1. So I'm going to type in HR. So I've entered the value HR as the password. So I'll click OK. Next, I need to supply a value for the default table space for HR. So here I need to enter the value for the parameter 2. I'm going to call it users. I've entered the value of users for the default table space. So I click OK. The next option is to specify a temporary table space for HR as parameter 3. I'm going to enter a value as temp. So I'll click OK. Next, we need to specify the password for the sys as parameter 4. When you install the Oracle database, you would have been prompted for a password. So that is the password you need to specify. I've entered the password, so I'm going to click OK. Next, I have to specify a log path as parameter 5. The value is going to be the path where the log is stored, which is stored in the schema directory inside the demo directory. So click OK to that. Next, we need to specify a connection string as parameter 6. So I'm going to enter the value here. I've entered the value of localhost : 1521/xepdb1. I'm going to click OK. The script has executed successfully, and we can see the user HR has been created and the user HR has been altered. Altered basically means we've also provided a password for that user account. In this video, I unlocked the sample HR schema account. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to unlock the sample HR schema tables. I'm going to use the SQL developer to unlock the sample HR schema tables. So I'm going to click to launch the SQL developer. I'm going to connect to the Oracle database using the HR schema account. I've already created a connection setting for it. It's called HR. So I'm going to click to sign in to the account. I'm just going to enter my password to connect to the database. I've entered my password. I click OK. To check if I have any tables listed in my HR schema, I'm going to execute this query, which is select star from tab, and that will return any tables I have in the HR schema. So I'm going to click on the play button to execute the query. The query has returned nothing. This is the location where the sample database schemas are stored in Oracle. So I'm going to open up the folder and I'm going to open up the human_resources folder, which is the HR. There are 10 script files located in the human resources folder. I'm going to execute all the script I have highlighted. I'm going to copy the location of the script files. So I'm going to select this. So this is the location of my script files. So I'm going to copy that and then execute the queries I want. These are the SQL script I'm going to execute inside my SQL developer that will unlock the sample HR schema tables. Each of the script files includes the @ symbol and the location where the script is located, followed by the script name .sql. I've copied the location of the script into the SQL developer query editor. So I'm going to execute all of them together. So I need to click on the second play button here, the smaller one, that enables me to execute everything inside the query editor. So I'm going to click on it and you can see it's executing the queries and it's creating the relevant tables. So we'll give it a few minutes to execute. As you can see, it's going through each of the script line by line and executing the content of the script. All the scripts specified have been successfully executed. If we right click on the tables folder inside the HR connection settings, click on refresh and that will refresh. You can see now the table folder has been refreshed. You can see we now have the following tables inside the HR schema unlocked. If I execute this command again, select star from tab, it will show all the tables from the HR schema. So you can see these are the 8 tables that have been unlocked from the sample HR schema. I have typed in a query to return all the data stored in the table called employees. So I'm using select star, basically means return all the columns and all the rows from the table called employees. So I'm going to click to execute. So in the output here is the data stored in the table called employees. So we have a total of 107 records returned by this query. So that's it for this video. In this video, I unlocked the sample tables belonging to the HR schema. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to connect to Oracle using the sample HR account. I've got SQL Developer opened. I'm going to create a new connection for the HR account. So I click on the green plus icon here, and this gives me the new database connection dialog box. I'm going to give the connection a name. I'm going to call it HR. I've given the connection a name. I've called it HR in uppercase. The username for the HR account is HR in lowercase. Next, I need to enter the password for the HR account. The password for the HR account is also HR. Host name, the port number, the seed has been auto-populated. I need to enter a value for the service name. So make sure you click on the service name radio button and then enter the value for the service name. I have entered a value for the service name. The value is XEPDET DB1. I'm going to test the connection. I'll click on test. The test has generated a status of success. So I'm going to click to connect. I have now connected to the database using the HR account. In this video, I connected to the Oracle database using the HR account. Thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to install Toad for Oracle databases. In the previous video, I downloaded Toad for Oracle. So this is the download in my downloads folder. So I'm going to double click to start the installation. You are presented with the welcome screen for the Toad for Oracle installer. These on the left here are the steps the installer is going to take to install Oracle. So I'm going to click on next. On this page, you have to accept the license agreement. So click to check the box to accept the license agreement and then click on the next option. The next step is to supply the product license. When you downloaded the Toad for Oracle, you would have received an email with the license information. You should receive an email from Quest, which are the current owners of Toad. So this is the email I received. So I'm going to click on it. Inside the email contains the license information. So this is my license key and the site message is trial version. So I'm going to copy my license key here. Next, to add the license, click on add license, and then I'm going to paste the license key. The site message should be free trial. So if we take a look at the email here, under site message, we have trial version. So this is what I need to copy. For the site message, I need to paste in trial version. Click OK. My product license information has now been entered. So I'm going to click on the next button. Next is the product selection page where you select which product to install. So I'm going to uncheck the other products. I only want to install Toad for Oracle. So I'll click on the next button. Next is the destination selection where the software will be installed. I'm going to accept the default location. You can change it if you want by using the change button here. So I'm going to leave the default and click next and then click on the install button. You may get this user account control pop-up. Click yes to that. The time it takes to complete the installation depends on the resources on your computer. Once the installation is completed, you can click on the finish button and it places the Toad for Oracle icon on your desktop. After 30 days, you will be required to purchase the software before you can continue using it. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to connect Toad to Oracle database. I've got the Toad for Oracle icon on my desktop. So I'm going to double click to launch it. The software is trying to launch. The free trial license expires in 30 days. When Toad launches, it presents you with this interface and you have to specify a username and password to connect to your Oracle database. There are 3 methods of connection: TNS, direct, and LDAP. I'm going to be setting up a direct connection. So I need to specify the host. The host is going to be localhost because the database is on my local computer, and then I'll supply a username and a password. The port number should be auto-populated. it should say 1521. Next, I need to specify the service name, which is the name of the database I want to connect to. I've entered the name of the service name, which is the database I want to connect to, and I'm going to click on the connect button to make the connection. I have now connected to the database. You can see it presents me with the editor, and if you look on the editor here, it displays the connection settings. It also shows the name of the schema you are currently connected to in this window here. You can view the tables in a database from the schema browser. In the menu list here, we have the schema browser. So if I click on it, it will display the tables that I have in this schema. You can end the current session by clicking on the session option here in the menu, and then click to end connection, and that will end the current connection. You will get a pop-up message asking if you want to end the connection. I'll say yes, and that will end the connection. To exit Toad, click on the file option and click exit. In this video, I connected to my Oracle database using Toad. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to create a new connection in Toad. I've already got Toad opened, so I'm going to click on the session tab here and then click on new connection. To add a new record, I'm going to click on this icon here, and that will give me the add login record window. So under the user/schema, I'm going to enter the username, which is going to be system. I've entered the username. You can enter the password if you want to, but it's not advisable because of security reasons. So if someone else gets access to your computer, and if you have the password saved, they can easily connect to it. So for security reason, I'm not going to save my password here. And here we have the connection type. Mine is going to be direct, and the host is going to be local host. The port number is going to be 1521. Local host basically means it's running on my local computer, and the port number is going to run on is 1521. Next, I'm going to enter the name of the service. I've entered the name of my service, which is going to be XCPDB1. This is going to be the database it's going to connect to. So you can test the connection just by clicking on test. It's giving me a message here that I need a password before I can test it. So I'm going to quickly enter the password, but I will not save it. So I've entered the password, so I'm going to click to test again, and hopefully it should connect. So I've got a success, which means the connection was successful. So I'm going to click OK. So I've cleared the password, and I'm just going to click on the OK button, and that will save the connection. So you can see the new connection has been saved as system. So if I want to connect to the database using system, I just come here and click on it, enter the password, and just click on the connect button, and that will connect me to the database. In this video, I created a new connection to the Oracle database. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. What is PL/SQL? PL stands for Procedural Language Extensions to the Structured Query Language, which is known as SQL. SQL is a powerful language for querying and updating data in a relational database. Oracle created PL/SQL to extend some limitations of the SQL language in order to provide a more comprehensive solution for building mission-critical applications running on Oracle database. Oracle developed the PL/SQL to enhance the capabilities of SQL. So it's basically the procedural extension to the SQL language. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to explain the PL/SQL block structure. PL/SQL program units organize the code into blocks. A block without a name is referred to as an anonymous block. The anonymous block is the simplest unit in PL/SQL. It is referred to as the anonymous block because it is not saved in the Oracle database. An anonymous block is an only one-time use and is useful in certain situations such as creating test units. This is an example of a PL/SQL block structure. A typical anonymous block structure has three basic sections. We have the declaration, which is an optional section. We have the execution section. This section is mandatory. And then we have the exception handling section, which is also an optional section. The declaration section is an optional section. It allows you to define data types, structures, and variables. So within the declaration section, you can declare your variables, you can give the variable names, you can add data types, and you can also initialize values for your variables. The execution section starts with a begin keyword and ends with an end keyword. It is a mandatory section. In the execution section is where you write the logic for your program. Also, the execution section must have at least one statement. You can use both procedural and SQL statements inside the execution section. We have the exception section, which starts with the keyword exception. This section is an optional section. It is used to handle the exceptions that occurs during the execution section. Every PL/SQL statement is followed by a semicolon. Also, you can nest PL/SQL blocks. Notice that the single forward slash is a signal to instruct the SQL Plus to execute the PL/SQL block. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to execute a PL SQL anonymous block using Toad. I have created a folder on my desktop. I've called it PL scripts, and inside that folder, I've created a simple file called anonymous-block, and I saved it as an SQL text file. This is the content of the SQL file. So to save a file as a SQL file, you just do file, you do save as, and then you go to the location. For example, this folder on my desktop, you give the file a name here. To save a file as a script file, you give it a name. For example, here, I've called it my file.sql. Where it's got save as type, click on the drop down and then select all files, and then you can save it. I'm not going to save this file. I just wanted to do a demonstration to show you how I created this file called anonymous-block. So I'm going to cancel out of that. So this is the content of the anonymous-block.sql. So this is my script file. Before you can execute any PL SQL script, make sure that you have the command called server output. Make sure that is set to on. This is important because it enables this procedure on line number 4, which is called RDBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. It enables the procedure to display the text hello world. So I've got Oracle opened, so I'm going to connect to a session. So I click on the session option here. I've got my connection. I'm going to connect to system account. I'm going to enter the password. I've entered the password. I'm going to click OK, and that should connect. So you can see the connection appearing here on the top left. So I'm now going to open up the script file inside my Toad editor. So I'm going to click on File, and I'm going to click Open File. I'm going to browse to the location of my script, which is on my desktop. So I'm going to select it and click Open. So my script is now open in Toad. To execute the anonymous block of code inside my editor, I click on the drop down next to this green button here. Notice I have two green buttons. It's the second one. So I click on the drop down and select Execute via Toad Script Runner. So I click on that, and that should execute. There you go. It has executed the code. You can see here line number 1, it displays the text which says hello world. Line number 2 tells you PL SQL procedure successfully completed. So I'm just going to exit out of the execution window. In this video, I showed you how to execute an anonymous block of PL SQL code using Toad. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. In PL SQL, a variable is a meaningful name of a temporary storage location that supports a particular data type in a program. Before using a variable, you need to declare the variable first inside the declaration section of a PL SQL block. Let's take a look at the PL SQL variable naming rules. There are some variable naming rules that you need to be aware of when creating variables. The variable names must be less than 31 characters, and it's always advisable to give your variable a meaningful name, which should be within the 31 characters limit. A variable name must begin with an ASCII letter followed by any number or an underscore. It can also be followed by a $sign. It can either be lowercase or uppercase. PL SQL is case sensitive. So for example, if you have a variable that has a name lowercase v underscore data and you refer to it with uppercase v underscore capital data, you're referring to the same variable. It is recommended that you follow the naming conventions listed in the table displayed to make the variables obvious in the PL SQL programs. Each organization has its own development naming convention guidelines. Make sure you comply with your organization's naming convention guidelines. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to declare variables. We have to declare variables inside the declaration section in a PL SQL block or in a package as a global variable. After the declaration of the variables, PL SQL allocates memory for the variable, and the variable name is used to identify the storage location. Here is some example variables I have declared inside the declaration section of a PL SQL block. To declare a variable, you use the variable name followed by the data type and then you terminate it with a semicolon. So in this example here, I've got the variable name, which is v underscore first underscore name, followed by the data type, which is a voucher 2. When you declare variable, you can also explicitly add a length constraint to the data type within the parentheses. So here I've added a constraint of 20, which means the length of the variable cannot be more than 20. So in these examples, I've declared 4 variables: v underscore first underscore name, v underscore last underscore name, n underscore employee underscore ID number, and d underscore hire underscore date. In the date variable, we have the date as the data type. In the employee variable, we have the number as the data type. And in the last name variable, we have voucher 2 as the data type. So in this example, I have declared some variables inside the PL SQL anonymous block. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to explain PL SQL variable assignment. In PL SQL, to assign a value or a variable to another variable, you can use the assignment operator. So the assignment operator is basically a colon followed by an equals to sign. Here's an example of how variable assignment works. So when you are creating variables in a PL SQL block, the variables have to be declared in the declaration section. So in the example on the screen, I have 4 variables that have been defined. The first variable is called v underscore first underscore name. When you declare a variable, you also have to specify the type of data that the variable is going to store. In this example, I'm going to use the data type that is stored in the table called employees, and in that table called employees, there's a column called first underscore name. So I'm using the type here to specify that I want to use the data type that this column, which is called first underscore name, in this table called employees. I'm going to use whatever data type that this column use. I'm going to use that for this variable, which is called v underscore first name. The same step applies to the second variable, which is v underscore last name. And then we have this variable n underscore employee ID. Again, I'm going to be using the type, which is the data type of the employee underscore ID column from the employees table. In the last variable, which is called d underscore hire underscore date, I'm using the data type from the hire underscore date column in the employees table. In the begin part of the code block is where we actually assign the values. So for example, this variable called v underscore first underscore name, I'm using the assignment operator for variables, which is the colon and then the equals to. We're using that to assign a value of Mary to the first underscore name variable. And then in the v underscore last name variable, again, we're using the variable assignment to assign a value Jane to the v underscore last underscore name variable. Similarly, on this variable called d underscore hire underscore date, I'm using the variable assignment. So basically what this is going to do is going to assign this function which is called to_date, and this is the value of the function. We are going to assign this to this variable called d_hire_date. You can use SQL statements inside your PL SQL block. So you can use the into of the select statement to assign a value to a variable. The into clause basically moves the values from the select queries column list into the corresponding PL SQL variables. So if we take a look at the begin part of the block, we have the SQL query where we're selecting the employee underscore ID, the first underscore name, the last underscore name, the hire underscore date. Okay, and then we're using the into clause to move those values into the variable. So we have the n underscore employee ID, the v underscore first name, v underscore last name, and d underscore hire underscore date. And the table we are targeting is the employees table. And from the employees table, we are targeting a specific employee with the employee ID. When this PL SQL block is executed, it will display the first name, the last name, and the hire date on the screen. In this video, I showed you how to assign variables using the variable assignment operator. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to take a look at PL SQL variable anchors. In PL SQL program, one of the most common tasks is to select values from columns in a table into a set of variables. In case the data types of the columns of the table changes, you have to also change the PL SQL program to make the types of the variables compatible with the new changes in the data types. PL SQL provides you with a very useful feature which is called variable anchors. Variable anchors refers to the use of the %type keyword. The %type keyword declares a variable with the data type that it is associated with within a column's data type of a particular column in a table. I have connected to the Oracle database using Toad, and I'm going to take a look at the structure of the employees table within the HR sample database schema provided by Oracle. I've already connected to the HR schema, so I'm going to use this command here, describe space employees. So this command will display the structure of the employees table. So to execute this command, I'm going to click on the play button here. This is the structure of the employees table in the HR schema. So we have the names of the column on this side, we have the ID, the data types. So you can see we have the data types displayed for each of the column. Here is an example of variable anchors. If we take a look at the first variable, which is v underscore first underscore name, this variable has a data type that is the same as the data type of the first underscore name column in the employees table. So if we take a look at the employees table, we can see that the first underscore name column has the data type of voucher 2. It also has the 20-byte constraint, which means that the total length of the first name that is going to be supplied cannot be more than 20 bytes in character. That means the size is restricted to 20. If for any reason the data type for the first underscore name column changes, the type of the v underscore first name in the example will automatically inherit the new data type of the column. So in the example here, where we have v underscore first name, if the data type in the database changes, this will automatically also change. By having the percent type here, it means that anytime the data type changes in the column inside the database, it will also automatically change here. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be executing a SQL variable assignment block using Toad. I have got Toad opened, so I'm going to log into a session. I'm going to click on the session option and I'm going to connect to my HR schema. I'm going to enter a command that will enable me to view the data type and the structure of a table within the HR schema. I've typed in this command, describe space employees. This command is going to show me the structure of this table called employees, including the data types. So I'm going to click on this first green button to execute the command. This is the output. So we can see the column names here, and then we can see the data types for each of the corresponding column names. I've written this query here to get some data from the employees table. So on line number 1 here, I'm selecting 3 columns from the employees table: the employee underscore ID, the last underscore name, and the salary from the employees table. On line number 3, I'm specifying a condition for the data that is going to be returned. So I only want to return data where the salary is greater than 12,000. To execute this query, I'm going to click on the first green button here. This is the result of the query. We have 8 records that matches the condition I have set. So you can see that all the salaries here are greater than 12,000. This is the script I have prepared that I'm going to execute. On line number 1, I've set the server output to on. I've also given it a size. When you don't specify a size, it uses the default size. On line number 2, I have the declare section of the SQL block. Inside the declare section, from line number 3 to 6, I have specified some variables. The name of the first variable on line number 3 is v underscore first underscore name. When you declare a variable, you also have to specify the type of data that's going to go into that variable. And to do that, I'm using the percent type to get the data type that is used by the first underscore name column from the employees table. So the variable on line number 3 is going to get its data type from the first underscore name column in the employees table. The variables from line 4 to 6 follow the same process. On line number 7, I have the begin section of the SQL block. On line number 7, I have the begin section, and inside the begin section, I'm using a select statement to select the employee ID, the first name, last name, and the hire date from the employees table. And then on line number 12, I'm using the clause which is called into to insert those values from the employee table into the variables that I declared. I only want to retrieve data where the employee ID is equals to 205, as I've specified on line number 17. The value of the variables is going to be displayed from line number 19 to 21 using the procedure called RDBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. I'm going to import the script I've written into Toad. So I'll click on the file menu and click on open, and then I'll select the name of the script, which is this one. It's called variable-assignment. I'll click open, and that will open the script. So this is the script. It has been opened up inside my Toad editor. To execute the script, I'm going to click on the drop down next to the second green button here, and then select execute via Toad script runner. The script has been executed, and we can see the output where it displays the value of the variables. So we've got the first name on line number 1, the last name on line number 2, and then the hire date on line number 3. In this video, I executed a SQL variable assignment block using Toad. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be initializing variables in SQL. When we declare a variable, SQL assigns it a null as a default value. That means its value is uninitialized. A field with no value is referred to as null. You can initialize a variable value in the declaration section by using a variable assignment. On the illustration on the right, I have a sample variable declaration. So in the declaration section, I have declared 3 variables. On the variable on line number 4 and 5, I've assigned values to the variables using the variable assignment operator. The variables on line number 4 and 5 are initialized. The variable on line number 6 is not initialized at declaration. However, in the begin section of the block, I have assigned value to the variable on line number 6, and the value is going to be the value of variable 1 plus the value of variable 2. On line number 10, I'm using the procedure which is called RDBMS underscore output dot put underscore line to display the value of variable 3. I've got Toad opened, so I'm going to connect to a session. I'm going to click on the session tab here and go to connect. I'm going to connect as a system account. I've entered my password. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to open up the script I have prepared. So I'm going to click on File and Open. The name of my script is called Initializing Variables. I've got it selected. I'm going to click Open. To execute the script, I'm going to click on the second green button here, click on the drop down and select Execute via Toad Script Runner. The script has been executed. We can see the output here. We have a value of 60, which is the value of adding variable 1 plus variable 2, and that is going to be the new value for variable number 3. In this video, I showed you how to initialize variables in SQL. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to SQL literals. Literals is an explicit numeric, character, string, or Boolean value which are not represented by identifiers. Let's take a look at the types of literals in SQL. We have numeric literals, we have character literals, we have string literals, we have Boolean literals, we have date and time literals. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be exploring variable scopes in PL/SQL. PL/SQL allows the nesting of blocks. That means you can nest PL/SQL blocks within other PL/SQL blocks. Based on the nesting structure of PL/SQL, variables can be divided into two scopes. The first is the local variable scope. The local variable scope are basically variables which are declared in the inner block and are not accessible to the outer blocks. Next, we have the global variable scope. The global variable scope are variables which are declared in the outer block or a package and are accessible to itself and inner blocks. So basically, local variables can only be accessed within the scope in which they are declared within that specific block, while global scopes can be accessed from anywhere within the blocks. Let's take a look at this script that I have written. So inside the script, I have declared some global variables. So global variables are usually declared in the outer block or a package. With a global variable declaration, you can access the variables from any blocks within the PL/SQL blocks. So I've declared two global variables on line number 5 and 6, and I've also initialized the variables. And then in the begin section, I've got two outputs that are going to be displayed. Notice that on line number 8 and 9, I've used the pipe operator. The pipe operator is used to concatenate two or more strings together. I've got another block within this PL/SQL block. On line number 10 here, I'm declaring some local variables. So this is an inner block, and inside that inner block, I've got two variables declared and initialized. In the begin section of the inner block on line 15 to 18, I'm using the procedure called RDBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. I'm using that to display various text as an output. So the message that's going to be displayed is enclosed in the parentheses. You can access global variables from anywhere within your PL/SQL blocks, regardless of how nested they are, while local variables can only be accessed within the local block in which it has been declared. I have logged into the Oracle database using Toad on my system account, and I have imported the PL/SQL script into Toad. So I'm going to execute the script by clicking on the drop down next to the second green button here and then selecting execute via Toad script runner. The script has been executed. This is the execution window, and we can see the output of the execution displayed. In this video, I introduced you to PL/SQL variable scopes. Thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to the introduction to PL/SQL functions. PL/SQL functions are named PL/SQL blocks which performs one or more specific task and must return a value. A PL/SQL function is also called a subroutine or a subprogram. To create a PL/SQL function, you can use the following syntax displayed on the screen. Let me walk you through the syntax. You can specify the function name after the keyword function. By convention, the function name should start with a verb. For example, convert underscore to underscore number. A function can have 0 or more than one parameter. A parameter basically is a placeholder for a variable. You can usually specify your parameters enclosed in square brackets. For example, parameter underscore 1, parameter underscore 2, and so on. When you specify a parameter, you also have to specify the data type for each parameter. This has to be specified explicitly. Each parameter has one of three modes. So you have the in, the out, and the in out. The in parameter is a read-only parameter. The function cannot change the value of the in parameter. The out parameter is a write-only parameter. It can be used to return values back to the calling program. The out parameter is initialized to a default value of its own type when the function begins, regardless of its original value before it is being passed to the function. Also, the function can change the value of the out parameter. The in-out parameters are read and write parameters. That is, a function can read and change the in-out parameter value and also return it back to the calling program. A function must have at least one return statement in the execution section. The return clause in the function header specifies the data type of the returned value. The block structure of a function is similar to that of an anonymous block. The only difference is that it has an additional section for the function header. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create SQL functions. I'm going to be creating a couple of functions. The syntax for the first function is displayed on the screen. This function is going to be called try_parse, and this function is going to be used to parse a string. A string basically is a text, so it's going to be used to parse a string, and it will return a number if the input string is a number, or it will return a null value if it cannot convert the value into a number. The IV_number is an in parameter whose data type is varchar2, so that you can pass any string to the try_parse function. Inside the function, I've used the built-in SQL function, which is called to_number. This function is used to convert a string into a number. If any exception error occurs, the function is going to return a null value in the exception section. Otherwise, it will return a number. The SQL function returns a value, so you can use it on the right-hand side of an assignment or in a select statement. I'm going to create an anonymous block to use the try_parse function. So this is the anonymous block that I'm going to create that is going to be used to execute the try_parse function. So in the anonymous block, I've declared some variables, but I have not initialized them inside the declaration section. The variables are initialized in the begin section of the block. Each of the variables is initialized by assigning them to the function, and we are also passing values for the functions to use in the execution. So in the output here, we are going to output the values of each of the variables. We can also use the try_function in a select statement as shown here. So we can select the try_parse function and passes some values from dual. The dual table is a special table that only has one row. It is basically used for selecting pseudo column like the ones we have in the example. This is the syntax for the second function I'm going to create. The name of the function is called getMultiple, and the function has multiple parameters. The parameters are called num1, and it has a data type of number, and we also have a parameter of num2 with a data type of number. We also have a return statement which is going to return a number. I've got a variable called num3, and the data type that's going to store is a number, and the digits that is going to accept, the maximum digit, is 8. In the begin statement, I've initialized the num3 variable. I've assigned it to variable number 1 times variable number 2, and that will return a new value for variable number 3. So there are various ways I can execute this function. So a function basically returns a value that can be assigned to a variable. So here we have a value called result, and it's going to be assigned to the function which is called getMultiple, and we are passing it the 4 and 5, which basically are the parameters. Notice when the function was defined, we have two parameters, num1 and num2. So they are just placeholders. So here now we are giving it value. So in the result, getMultiple, we're passing in a value for the first parameter, which is num1. We gave it 4. And the second parameter, which is num2, I've given it a value of 5. You can also execute a function as part of a select statement. For example, here we have select, the name of the function, the parameters from dual. Dual basically is a special table in Oracle. A dual table in Oracle only has one row. It is mainly used for selecting pseudo column like the one we have in the example. You can also execute a function as a PL SQL statement. For example, here we are outputting the function and the parameters supplied. You can drop a function by typing in the word drop function followed by the name of the function. I have connected to the Oracle database using Toad, so I'm going to import the first script that I'm going to use to create the function. So to import the script, I click on the file option and click open. The name of the script is called parse-function, so I click to open it, and that opens up inside my Toad editor. To execute the script, I'm going to click on the drop down here next to this green button and select execute via Toad script runner. So this is the Toad script runner window, and you can see in the output the function has been created. I'm going to create an anonymous block and use that to execute the function. I've already prepared a script to create the anonymous block, so I'm going to import that. So I click on file and then open file, and the name of the script is called parse-anonymous. I click to open. So I'm calling my function inside the anonymous block. So you can see I've defined some variables and I'm assigning the value assigned to the function to the variable. And on line number 11 to 13, I'm going to output the result. To execute the anonymous block, I'll click on the drop down and select execute Vital script runner. You can see that the anonymous block has been executed, and we can see that we have two outputs from line number 11, which is the value of the variable called n_x, and then the second value is for the variable called n_y. Notice that we've got no value for the third variable, which is n_z, because it does not contain a numerical value. When I define the function, I specify that I only want it to return numerical values. You can also execute a function as part of a select statement. So I've added two select statements on line number 17 and on line number 19. So I'm going to select the select statement on line number 17 and then execute that. So I'm going to click on this green button here, and we can see the output of that execution in the result area here. So it just outputs the numerical value. If I select the second statement and try to execute that, it should not return any value because it is not numerical. So I'm going to execute this, and you can see that it hasn't returned any value because the function return statement indicated that I only want to return numerical values. Notice that I've used a dual table here. A dual table is a special one row table that is used for selecting a pseudo column. I'm going to create another function. I've already prepared the script for that, so I'm going to import it. So I click on File and then Open. The name of the script is called Get Multiple Dash Functions. So I'm going to open it. So I'm going to execute the script to create another function. So I'll click on the drop down and select Execute via Toad Script Runner. So this is the Toad Script Runner window, and we can see in the output the function has been created. I'm going to create an anonymous SQL block and use that to execute this function. I've already prepared the script to create the anonymous block, so I'm going to import that into Toad. So I'll click on the File option, click Open, and the name of the script is called Get Multiple Dash Anonymous. So I've selected it. I'll click Open. This is the script that will create the anonymous block. So a function can be executed from a variable, so you can assign the return value of a function to a variable. So on line number 3 here, I've declared a variable called result with a number data type. And then on line number 5, I initialized the variable by assigning it to the function. And the function also contains parameterized values. On line number 6, I'm using this statement here to display the result, which is the value of the result variable. So I'm going to execute this block by clicking on the drop down and select Execute Vital. So the anonymous block has been executed, and you can see in the output we have a value of 20, which is the multiplication of 4 by 5. You can also execute a function as part of a select statement. So I've added a select statement here on line number 11, so which is going to select the function and the function values from dual. Dual is a special table in Oracle. So to execute it, I just click on the first green button here, and we can see in the output it displays the result. If you no longer require a function, you can delete or drop the function. So on line number 14 and 17, I've added two statements that will be used to delete or drop the functions I've created. So I'm going to drop or delete the first function. On line number 14, you use the keyword drop, followed by the word function, and then the name of the function. So I've got that line selected. To execute it, I'm going to press the green button here. So the function has been executed. You can see here, I tried to execute the function again, and it gave me the execution error saying that the object does not exist. This is because I've already deleted it. So I'm going to delete the second function. So I'm going to select it and then just execute. And that function has been deleted. You can see here, it says no error found. So if I try to execute that same function again, it will give me an error saying that the function does not exist. In this video, we created some functions using Toad for Oracle. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to PL/SQL stored procedure. What are PL/SQL stored procedures? PL/SQL stored procedures are named PL/SQL blocks which performs one or more specific tasks. PL/SQL procedures allows you to encapsulate complex business logic and also to reuse it in both the database layer and the application layer. A PL/SQL stored procedure can be divided into two parts, the header and the body part. The header part contains the name of the procedure and the parameters passed to the procedure. The body part contains the declaration section, the execution section, and the exception section. A PL/SQL stored procedure do not return a value directly. You can pass parameters into stored procedure by using different types of mode. There are three main types of modes. We have the in parameters. These parameters basically are read-only parameters, and the procedure cannot change the value of the in parameters. We also have the out parameters. These parameters are the write-only parameters and used to return values back to the calling program. For this parameter, the procedures can change the value of the out parameter. The final mode is the in-out parameters. These parameters are read and write parameters. That is, a procedure can read and also change the in-out parameter value and return it back to the calling program. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be creating a stored procedure. Here is a basic syntax for creating a stored procedure. A stored procedure basically consists of two parts, the header and the body part. The header contains the name of the procedure and the parameters passed to the procedure. The body consists of the declaration section, the execution section, and the exception section. So you begin with the word create or replace, followed by the word procedure, and then the name of the procedure, and then you list all the parameters that you want to include. So basically anything before the is as keyword is the header section. Anything below the is as keyword is referred to as the body section of the procedure. I'm going to create a store procedure using the code displayed on the screen. So let me explain the store procedure. The store procedure I'm going to create is going to be called adjust_salary. And this procedure is going to be used in the sample HR database provided by Oracle. What this procedure is going to do is going to update the salary information of employees in the employees table using an SQL update statement. Let me walk you through how this stored procedure is going to work. The procedure has two parameters, the in_employee_ID and the in_%. The procedure will adjust the salary of a particular employee specified in the in_employee_ID by a given percentage in_%. In the procedure body, I'm using the update statement to update the salary information. I've connected to the sample HR schema using Toad, and I've also added the script to create the stored procedure. So to execute the script, I click on the drop down here and select execute via Toad script runner. So the script has been executed inside the script runner for Toad. You can see here it says procedure created. So that's it for this video. In this video, we created a stored procedure. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to call or execute a stored procedure. A procedure can call other procedures. Also, a procedure without parameters can be called directly by using the exec statement or execute statement followed by the name of the procedure. A procedure without parameters can be called using the exec or execute statement followed by the procedure's name and its parameters in the order corresponding to the parameter list of the procedure as shown in the example below. To execute or call the store procedure that we created previously, before any adjustment is made, we query the salary column from the employees table where the employee_ID is equals to 200. We then call the stored procedure on line number 4 by using the word exec followed by the name of the stored procedure. And then in the stored procedure parameters, we pass in the ID of the employee ID we want to adjust the salary for, and then we add the percentage increase we want for that salary. So on line number 4, I've given it a percentage increase of 5. After the store procedure has been executed, we want to run another query on the salary column from the employees table where the employee ID is equals to 200, and this would give us the value after the store procedure has been executed to increase the salary by 5%. I've added some statements to my Toad editor. Before I execute the store procedure, I want to see what the current salary is. So the statement on line number 1 here, I'm going to use that to query the database. I've selected the statement on line number 1 to query the salary column from the employees table. I've selected the first query here to query the salary column from the employees table where the employee ID is equals to 200. So I'm going to execute that, and that will tell me the current value. So we can see here the current value of the salary for that employee ID of 200 is 4,400. So now I'm going to execute the stored procedure. I've selected the stored procedure and I'm going to execute it, and the stored procedure is going to be executed on the employee ID of 200. We're going to increase the salary by 5%. I'm going to execute the query, so that has been executed. Now I'm going to run a select statement on the salary column to check the new salary after the execution of the stored procedure. I'm going to query that. We can see here the new salary is 4,620 after running the stored procedure. You can also delete a stored procedure if you no longer require it. So on line number 7, I've added a statement here to delete the stored procedure. So you type in the word drop followed by the word procedure and then the name of the procedure. So I'm going to execute that, and that has deleted the stored procedure. So that's it for this video. In this video, I executed a stored procedure. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the PL SQL if statement. The if statement allows you to either execute or skip a sequence of statements depending on a condition. There are 3 main types of if statements. We have the if then, the if then else, the if then else if. So these are the 3 forms of if statements. This is the syntax for the if then statement. The condition is usually a Boolean expression that always evaluates to true, false, or null. If the condition evaluates to true, the statement after the then executes. Otherwise, the if statement does nothing. This is the syntax for the if then else statement. With this syntax, if the condition evaluates to true, then the statements between the then and the else executes. In case the condition evaluates to false or null, the else statements between the else and the end if statements will execute. This is the syntax for the if then else if statement. In this structure, the condition between the if and then, which is the first condition, is always evaluated. Each other condition between the else if and the then is evaluated only if the preceding condition is false. For example, the condition _2 is evaluated only if the condition _1 is false. The condition _3 is evaluated only if the condition _2 is false, and so on. If a condition is true, other subsequent conditions are not evaluated. If no condition is true, the else statement between the else and the end if executes. In case you skip the else clause and no condition is true, then the if then else if will do nothing. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to take a look at some examples of using an if statement. This is a script that I have prepared to execute to show an example of an if then statement. In this example, the if statement is going to update the employee's salary to mid-range if the employee's salary is lower than the mid-range. So in the declaration section, from line 2 to 6, I have declared some variables. In the begin section, I'm getting the salary range of the employee based on their jobs, and I'm using a select statement. So line 10 is a select statement where I'm selecting the minimum underscore salary, the maximum underscore salary, and I'm inserting that value into the variable, which is called n underscore min underscore salary and n underscore max underscore salary. And we're getting this information from line number 14, which is the jobs table. On line number 15, we're using the where clause to filter the information we need. So we want where the job underscore ID is equals to a select statement. So we are using another select statement where we are selecting the job underscore ID from the employees table, where the employee underscore ID is equals to the variable, which is called n underscore emp underscore ID. Next, we're going to calculate the mid-range salary. To do that, on line number 20, I've declared a variable called n underscore mid underscore salary, and I've set that value to be equals to the variable called n underscore min underscore salary plus the variable called n underscore mask underscore salary, and then dividing that value by 2. That will give us the mid-range salary. To get the salary of a given employee, I'm using a select statement from line number 22 to 25. So I'm selecting the salary and then inserting that value into the variable called n underscore salary, and we're getting the value from the employees table. On line number 25, we're using the where clause. So where the employee underscore ID is equals to the value of the variable called n underscore emp underscore ID. Once we've done that, we want to update the employee salary if the employee salary is lower than the mid-range salary. So to do that, I'm using an update statement. On line number 29, I'm using the if statement. So I'm saying if the variable called n underscore salary is less than the variable called n underscore mid underscore salary, then we will update the employees table and set the salary to equals to the variable called n underscore mid underscore salary, where the employee underscore ID is equals to the value of the variable called n underscore emp underscore ID. And then on line number 33, we end the if statement. This is the script I'm going to execute to show an example of the if then else statement. I'm going to use the if then else statement to update the employee's salary if the employee's salary is lower than the mid-range. Otherwise, I will increase it by 5%. I have slightly modified the previous script that I explained to include the condition for the if then else statement. So from line number 29 to line number 36 is the updates that I have made to the previous script. So we're basically checking if the variable called n underscore salary is greater than the variable called n underscore mid underscore salary. If it is, then we will update the specified employees table and set the salary to equals to the n underscore mid underscore salary, where the specified employee ID is equals to the value stored in this variable called n underscore emp underscore ID. If that condition is not true, we'll jump onto the else statement on line 33 and then update the employees table and set the salary to equals to the salary plus the salary multiplied by 5%, which is 5 divided by 100. That will give you 5%, and it will add 5% to the salary if the specified employee salary is lower than the mid-range salary. This is the script that I've prepared to show an example of the if then else if statement. This script is going to print out the corresponding messages when the employee salary is higher than the mid-range, also when the employee salary is lower than the mid-range, or when the employee salary is equal to the mid-range. So you can see here I've got the print out statement here in the RDBMS underscore output. So they will print out various messages based on the employee salary. I have connected to the Oracle database sample HR schema using Toad. Before I execute the script for the if then statement, I want to quickly query the salary column from the employees table where the employee ID is 200. So this is the statement I'm going to use to query that data. So I'm going to click on this green button here to execute. If we take a look at the output, we can see the current salary of employee ID of 200 is 4,620. Now I'm going to add the script I've already prepared for the if then statement. I've added the script here for the if then statement. So I'm going to execute it by clicking on the drop down next to the second green button and selecting the execute via Toad script runner. We can see here that the script has successfully been executed. So I'm going to exit the Toad script runner. I'm going to query the table again to check for the salary of employee ID 200 just to see if it has changed after the execution of the if then statement. So I'm going to click on the green button here. We can see that the salary has not changed. It is still 4,620 after the execution of the if then statement. I have added the script for the if then else statement, and this script is going to be used to update the employee salary if the salary is lower than the mid-range. If it is, it will increase the salary by 5%. I'm going to execute this script by clicking on the drop down and selecting execute via Toad script runner. The script has successfully executed, so I'm going to exit the execution screen. Now that I have executed the if then else statement, the value for the salary for the employee ID of 200 should have changed. So I'm going to execute this query to query the salary again. And if we take a look here, we can see the salary has now been changed to 4,851. So it has been increased by 5%. I have added the final script, which is for the if then else if statement. So what this script is going to do, the script is going to print out a message on the screen based on the employee salary, whether the salary is higher than the mid-range, lower than the mid-range, or equal to the mid-range. To execute the script, I'm going to click on the drop down and then select execute via Toad script runner. And if we take a look at the script output, I've got a message here saying the employee ID of 200 has a salary of 4,851, which is higher than the mid-range salary of 4,500. In this video, I showed you examples of using if statements. Thanks for watching.